students, welcome you again. In continuation of my present chapter, our next topic is levels of management. No proper management is possible with a single level management. There are different levels of management like top level management, middle level management, lower level management. So proper management is to be done by 3 levels of management. So the first is top level management. The examples in this category are CEO, Chief Executive Officer, CFO, Chief Finance Officer, President, Vice President, etc. Now there are various functions of different levels of management. First we start with the functions of top level management. So the first function of top level management is determining objectives of the organization. Top level management determines the objectives of the organization. He is to see which are the objectives to be fixed for the organization to be achieved. Second function of the top level of management is survival and welfare of the organization. The top level management is to look after how the organization which has just been started to be survived. To be survived means it should be able to earn sufficient profits to cover the costs, and along with this it should look after the welfare of the organization. Any activity which is against the welfare of the organization is to be avoided, and any activity which is in the welfare of the organization has to be done. Third function of the top level management is to analyze business environment. Business environment here means the surrounding around and within the organization. So the top level management has to see what is the business environment around the organization. Fourth function of the top level management is to fix the goals of the organization and the strategies to be adopted to achieve those goals of the organization. Fifth and last objective or function of the top level management is to fix all the activities which are to be performed within the organization. These are the 5 functions of top level management. Now we come to the second level of management, that is middle level management. Just like top level management, middle level management has also to perform various functions but which are different from the functions already I have told you about the top level management. Now the first function of the middle level management is interpreting policy. The policy which have been adopted by the top level management has to be interpreted and understood by the middle level management, which are to be given to the next level, that is lower level management, that is supervisory level. Now the second function of middle level management is to organize all the activities, that is organizing activities. Middle level management has to organize the different activities which are to be performed in the organization. Third function of the middle level management is regarding necessary personnel. He is to see which type of persons, how much qualifications they should have are to be employed within the organization, because middle level management is responsible to see what type of, how much qualified, how much trained personnel is to be required in the organization. He is to see which type of personnel will be able to achieve the goals of the organization which have already been determined. The third function of the middle level management is to motivate the subordinates. Middle level management have certain subordinates like the lower level management and the worker. So he is always to motivate those subordinates so that they work willingly to adopt those policies which will help to achieve the goals of the organization. Next function of middle level management is creating cooperation. Cooperation means the workers and the lower level management should willingly try to achieve the goals of the organization and work accordingly. So willingness is necessary, no compulsion. Now we come to lower level management. Examples are foreman, supervisor. So these are the examples of lower level management. Now, just like the top level and the middle level management, lower level management has also to perform certain functions, but these are quite different functions from the middle level and the top level. The first function of the supervisory level is to submit any complaints which the workers have in the organization. Normal complaints the supervisors can tackle themselves, but in case of serious problem, he is to forward those complaints to the middle level management, which further will follow them, and if he is not able to solve any of the complaints, he will forward those complaints to the top level. The second function of the lower level of management is proper working environment. Lower level management is to see whether the environment in the organization is proper or not regarding electricity, water, cleanliness, etc. Now the third function of lower level is efforts of the workforce. Lower level management is directly in touch with the worker. He is to see whether the workers are doing the work properly or not in respect of the goals of the organization. If they are working sufficiently, properly, accordingly to achieve the goals of the organization. Last function of the lower level management is helping middle level management. Lower level management not only is in touch with the worker, he is also to help the middle level management in various ways. He is to help the middle level management in selection of workers, in training of workers, in placement of workers and promotion of workers. He is to advise the middle level management from time to time. My next topic is functions of management. Dear students, in this chapter I will only just touch the functions of management. In detail, we have 5 full chapters of functions of management. There are 5 functions of management. Number 1, planning. Number 2, organizing. Number 3, directing. Number 4, staffing. And last of all, controlling. I will just touch and define these 5 functions of management. In details we go on later on. The first function is planning. What is planning? Actually, in our whole life we have to plan, otherwise there will be catastrophe. Similarly, in business, in management, there has to be proper planning. What is planning? Planning means determining in advance what is to be done and who will do the job. This is the definition of planning, just to acquaint you with what is planning. Second is organizing. In organizing, we deal with assigning duties to different persons who are working within the organization. Grouping tasks. There are different tasks and we have to group those tasks which are similar. In this we also study establishing authority, responsibility and accountability subject. Who is responsible for the task? Second is who is responsible, who has got the authority to do the job, and last, if the work is not done, who will be accountable? That is accountability. So there are three things: authority, responsibility and accountability. Next function is staffing. Staffing deals with the process of finding the right man for the right job at the right time. This is staffing. In staffing, we shall later on discuss recruitment and selection and training. Fourth function of management is directing. In directing, we study four elements, that is supervision, motivation, leadership and last of all communication. In detail, as I already said, we will discuss later on. And the last but not the least is controlling function. So controlling function involves establishing standards. First we fix the standard which has to be achieved. Then we measure the actual performance which has been performed. Then we see if there are any deviations, that means deviation of actual performance from the standard fixed. And last of all, we will take the measures if there is any sort of deviation. That deviation here means actual performance different from standard fixed. After the functions of management, our next topic is nature of management. Every year one question is asked from this topic because this involves three things. Here nature of management means what type of management is. Whether management is an art, whether management is a science, whether management is a profession. We shall discuss each one by one. First of all, we take management as an art. First of all, we will have to see whether the management fulfills the function, the features of art or not. The first feature of art is existence of theoretical knowledge. In art, we find that there is certain theoretical knowledge. Because in theoretical knowledge, certain principles and theories are adopted. Management also fulfills this feature because management has also certain specialized knowledge, it has certain principles, it has certain theories. So here we can say management fulfills the first feature. The second feature of art is personalized application. In art, every artist has got certain knowledge from his college, from his institution, from his so-called guru. But while following that art, he can adopt his personal touch in that art. Similarly, every manager has got knowledge from his institution. But while practicing that knowledge, every manager follows certain features which has got from his person only. So we can say artist has certain personalized features while following. Similarly, manager has also certain personalized feature while following those knowledge. Now the third feature of art is based on practice and creativity. Art demands that you have got the knowledge, but it needs continuous practice. Unless and until there is a continuous practice, an artist cannot improve his work or her work. And creativity. An artist is always a creative person. He is creating every time something new. Similarly, in management, we find that a manager has got the knowledge, but he is to continuously practice those features which have already got, but he is also to be creative. Unless and until he is creative, he cannot improve his management. He will remain there when he started his job. After 10 years also, unless and until he is not creative, he won't improve his task. So, we can conclude from the above that management is an art because it fulfills all the features of art. Now we come to whether management is a science or not. The first feature of science is existence of systematic body of knowledge. In science, we find that there is a systematic body of knowledge. Similarly, in my management also, there is a systematic body of knowledge. So management fulfills this function, so we can say that management is a science as far as this feature is concerned. The second feature of science is that principles based on experimentation. Science has principles which are based on experimentation. It has got principles which are not just theoretical, but after various years of experiments, they have developed certain principles. But management does not fulfill this condition. So as far as this feature is concerned, we can say that management is not a science. Because management deals with human beings, because the behavior of the human beings is most unpredictable. Sometimes he behaves one way and another time he behaves in another way. So at two times he behaves differently. So we can't say anything certainly as far as human behavior is concerned. The third feature of science is universal validity of principle. As far as science is concerned, that there is universal applicability, because principles of science are applicable everywhere at all the time. But this is not true in the case of management, because the principles of management are not universal. Third is management as a profession. Similarly, if management fulfills the features of profession, we will say management is a profession, otherwise we will say management is not a profession. The first feature of profession is well-defined body of knowledge. A professional has certain well-defined body of knowledge. A doctor has certain professional knowledge of medicines and surgery. A CA has certain knowledge of cost accountancy, etc. A lawyer has got qualification of LLB. So these are well-defined knowledge. Similarly, in management also there is well-defined knowledge. But here sufficient qualification is to be there if one has to be accountant. The second feature of profession is restricted entry. There is restricted entry in a profession. It is not that anybody can enter advocates, anybody can become a doctor, anybody can become chartered accountant. It is not like that. So this is not the case with a manager. Anybody can become a manager whether he is qualified or not. Students tell me, is it true or not? It must be true, because you can also sit at your father's seat, that is managerial seat, and say from today I am a manager, but you are not professional. Third is professional association. In profession, there are different associations of different profession. Just like in CA, in Chartered, there is Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants. In law, there is Bar Association, but there is no such association in management. So management does not fulfill this feature also. Fourth feature is ethical code of conduct. In every profession, there is a code of conduct which every professional in that category has to follow. But there is no such thing as code of conduct in management. So we can conclude that management does not fulfill all the conditions of a profession. Hence we can say management is not a profession.